peed on my dog yesterday.
You shouldn't do that. It's not healthy for dogs.
I mean, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
All right. I won't judge you. It's all right, buddy.
Let's just do the podcast now. Welcome to the Fat Elvis podcast. Today, as you can see, we're down a man. Unfortunately, Will fell back into the vat of buffalo wings.
Yeah, he's pretty happy. I don't know how long he's gonna be there.
Well, it's a whole other vat actually. Like, I don't know where we keep finding them, but he.
My microphone's off, I think.
The fuck. Switch.
Oh, that's back on. Let's try this again.
Let's just roll with it. You could probably hear you on my mic.
Hey, welcome to the Elvis podcast. My mic was off.
We're professionals. I feel like I need to explain myself though.
Yeah, were you talking to yourself about peeing on your dog for a second?
Well, just in general. Okay, first of all, I got a new dog. You're probably gonna hear him barking a little bit. He's in the other room. He's a puppy. He's only 6 months old, and he freaks out if like I'm not in the room with him, just because he's a needy little dick. And I had to go pee yesterday, and he followed me into the bathroom, and I was just like, whatever. I don't want him to freak out. All I have to do is pee. And I'm standing there peeing, and he walks up like next to the toilet and is staring at me. I'm like, no, and then he just sticks his head under my piss, and just looks at me. And what was I supposed to do? I couldn't like start pissing on the floor.
Supposed to pinch it, man. Don't keep on peeing.
Well, I moved him. Like I pushed him with my leg, but he was under my piss stream for a second. There wasn't much I could do to react.
No, not the dog. You gotta pinch your dick to stop pissing.
Well, no, but
You gotta turn that shit
I'm
off.
not a fucking dog. Like, can you do that?
Yeah.
How?
Squeeze it.
You just squeeze it?
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
Make the pee stop.
The fuck is wrong with your dick? I don't think that works for
I
mine.
got an on and off switch, homie.
Dude, we should have that for real though, like biologically. God made a mistake.
Yeah.
We should have like valves.
Valves.
Mm-hmm.
Where would they be?
Like kind of where your taint is. There's nothing going on there anyway.
Yeah. It's just free space right there.
Yeah, there's a free
gotta-
wall of flesh
you gotta
between your balls and your asshole that
gotta
does nothing.
Utilize it somehow.
Exactly. Some people, they like to play with it.
Ugh.
You ever tried that?
Why would I?
I don't know.
No, have you?
No. I don't know. Like some people, it's sensitive, I guess. Oh man.
I'm sorry if I sound horrible. I am currently sick right now.
Idiot. Should have not gotten sick.
Oh, I can't help it. I was just outside eating leaves.
Leaves that were in a plague camp.
Oh, yeah.
But you gotta, I mean, I don't think it's the leaves that's the problem. I frequently see you go into bathrooms and lick toilet seats and door handles and things.
That's my business. You can't fucking talk about that shit.
I think, the idea is like natural immunity, but obviously it's not working out.
I might be too old for that.
I got beard hair all over my microphone.
I think that's actually Will's beard hair from last time.
This is mine. God, I hope not. I don't want to mix our beards together.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
I got a problem with Will.
What is it?
He's been slandering me for years.
About?
My beard.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he needs to knock it off, okay? He's got this big, luscious beard now. He's walking around like he thinks he's the man. I've had a beard since 10th fucking grade. Name someone else you know that has had a full beard since 10th grade. There isn't one. I'm the man. I'm awesome, and he's not. And he routinely slanders my name. He says that my beard hasn't gotten any bigger or changed since 10th grade. I've never shaved. I haven't shaved since then. I had a beard in freshman year, then I shaved it, and it grew back. And he says it hasn't gotten any longer, and he's wrong. I have curly hair, and it's real thick, so it grows slow, long, but it's real thick. And it looks different. He's wrong. He's stupid, and I hate him. And if you see him in real life, you should kill him.
Yeah, he made fun of my beard, too, because I just grow facial hair on my chin, and that's about chin and mustache, and I just shave it. It's not shaved now, but It's just stubble right now.
I think you're beautiful the way you are.
I know I'm beautiful the way I am. I don't need you to fucking tell me that.
Yeah, Will doesn't. You don't need Will's acceptance either.
He doesn't understand.
Will's just a kind of a dick, you know, and I think he deserves to get his taint waxed.
Yeah.
This is the taint podcast.
Mm.
Yeah, that probably hurt.
Who's it sponsored by? Taint Podcast. Sponsored by Taint Wax.
Taint wax. Do you have hairy taint?
Do I?
Yeah.
I haven't checked.
Mine's real hairy.
What do you... Well, I don't really, have a reason to be looking there.
I don't look. I don't bend that way. It's just like I feel it.
Yeah, I'm sure you know.
Well, you never touched your taint? You gotta explore your body.
I probably have, but I don't frequently touch it. I don't have to. There's no really... Again, there's nothing going on there. I don't have to touch it.
Hey, this is a sex positive podcast, man. If you want to touch your taint, you can go for it. You don't need to lie.
I can guess. Yeah, I don't know.
If you had unlimited funds, just like, I don't know, you murdered Jeff Bezos and by tribal law you got his riches, what would you do? What was the first thing you'd do with the money?
I'd probably, buy you. I'd own you.
I don't think that's legal anymore.
Well, I mean, then I would make you my worker.
Hmm.
And I'll just pay you, and then I'll just have you, go do stupid shit all the time.
Damn.
Or do my bidding for me.
I was going to do nice things for you, but now that I know I'm like a wage slave, maybe I won't be so nice.
Oh, money makes you different.
It changes a man.
It does.
You know what I'd buy like a bunch of paperclip factories.
Mm-hmm.
I have this weird obsession with like factories that make like weird like shit you wouldn't even think about. Like there are factories that make like push pins and shoe horns.
Yeah, I would make it like a factory. I would buy a factory that was is a very specific thing that people don't think is made.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like who thought okay, my business in life is going to make safety pins or clothesline pins.
Yeah.
There's all these.
I'd buy a tape factory because everybody's always buying tape all the time.
Yeah, you need tape for a lot of stuff like doing murder.
Tape and cardboard to your ceiling.
Yeah, we don't have like actual lights because I'm poor, so I have like a ceiling light above us and I've taped cardboard in front of it to keep the glare out of the camera. I'm pretty much a technical genius and I'm an amazing podcast producer.
What about
That's why we don't even have microphone stands and you can hear us like shaking the microphone around the whole time. It sounds horrible.
What about a paper factory?
Yeah, there's a lot of those though.
Yeah, but they get a lot of money. You use paper for just about everything, posters, stuff to write on, everything else made with paper.
Yeah. You want to do that for the rest of the podcast? List a bunch of paper products.
I think I've listed most of them.
Plates.
Towel. Straws. I give up.
Mache.
Paper. Origami.
And then, there's another factory we got to make along with that one. Paste factory.
Paste.
For the mache.
Wood factory.
Wood.
They make wood there.
Pretty sure that's just like a logging camp.
I go to the tree factory. Make trees.
That's what we need. We need an invention that grows trees real fast.
Yes.
What about
the belly button factory? Where do them come from? You can make a belly button.
Pretty sure that's just like people factory.
People factory.
Yeah, you gotta make people there to get the belly buttons.
Bedrooms and brothels.
Why do you need the belly buttons?
I don't know. They're important.
You just you create babies and then harvest their buttons. I don't like the way I worded that. Let's change the subject.
I don't either.
All right, let me tell you something else I'd do if I had Jeff Bezos' money. I would buy a castle. No, I wouldn't buy a castle. I'd build one. There's a cornfield right in front of my house, and I'm gonna buy it and build a castle there. Just because I think it's hilarious to have like a castle in the middle of like Hicktown, USA.
If you could die anywhere, where would you die?
Well, that's a good question.
I feel like it would be awesome. Like it wouldn't be awesome in the process of dying, but it would just be a cool story.
Like you have to die, but at least you get to choose where.
Yeah, I would would drown in sidewalk cement, and then people would never know my body was there. But there's always people on the sidewalk.
No, you want to drown in the sidewalk cement, but real shallow, so you look like Han Solo in the carbonite.
But no, then they would take my body out. But I mean, like, it would be there forever until that sidewalk's gone.
Like a mob killing, where they put you in the foundation of a building.
Yeah, except it would be like in a public area.
I'd build like a real tall tower,
Mm.
like in the middle of a city or something. No, not in the middle of a city, just like somewhere out in the forest or something. I'd build a real tall tower, and I'd strap a bunch of dynamite to myself.
Yeah.
And then I'd get an eagle, and I'd have him on my arm. I wouldn't even wear like the glove. I just let the eagle dig its claws in my arm.
Well, wouldn't the eagle fly away?
No, wait. Okay, I get 2 eagles on each arm. Right, eagles are huge, man. They can lift. They could even lift me probably. And I would launch myself off the tower with the dynamite fuse lit, and then let the eagles fly around until they got tired. And then when they let me go, I'd fall and hit the ground and explode in a million pieces.
Tape the eagles to your arm so they won't get away.
No, I don't want the eagles. They can live. I just needed their assistance to die.
I feel like a good way to die would be you're on like an aircraft carrier where they like drop stuff on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be on a horse in a medieval javelin, or like with the javelin, and I'll be
armor.
Yeah, I'll have an armor, and then I'll have you on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll jump off the horse, and you're also on a horse, and we're gonna joust. But I'm just coming straight at you from like 40,000 feet in the air, and there's gonna be horse and Corgan everywhere by the time I get down. You might not even be there either.
And then we blow up.
Yeah, I might kill you.
Why are we on an aircraft carrier?
You're not. You're on the ground. I am on the aircraft carrier, jumping down to you.
But aircraft carriers are boats.
No, I'm talking about like an aircraft.
Like the Avengers thing?
No. Like yeah, like the things that they drop like bombs off the back of. Those
A bomber?
Yes. Except I will be
Like
the
a plane?
bomb, and I would be on a horse.
That is not an aircraft carrier, my man.
I got confused.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good way to die. What are some other fun ways to die?
Natural causes. It's a pretty cool way.
I don't want to. I don't want to go out like that.
On my own terms.
Oh yeah, I'll go out with dignity. Like, I'd rather someone like I want to die in at least an interesting way. Like, I'd rather some dude drown me in the toilet than like die from cancer or something.
I'll do it for you.
How much money you want for it?
All of it.
Yeah, I mean, I won't really need it when I'm gone. I'll just kind of give you my debit card.
Yeah. Yeah, you have your debit card, and I can probably buy myself like Taco Bell and like 2 things of soda, and that's about it.
Yeah, I got like $5. Living's expensive, dude. Why does it cost so much to live here?
I don't know. Society.
I think it's cheaper on other planets.
If Will was here, he'd say society, and then he'd make some sort of Joker reference.
We live in a society. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it.
You get what you deserve.
Should we talk about us fucking with him yesterday?
I don't know if we should or not. You think he's gonna watch this?
No.
Probably will.
So yesterday, Will and us got in an argument because he was drunk, and we literally didn't even do anything, and he was just getting pissed off because he thought we did something.
He was just mad. He made up a whole thing. He got mad for no reason. It wasn't even really us fucking with him.
So we started a group chat or group call, and he didn't answer. So we texted him in like a group chat asking him if he was going to come to the podcast today, and he didn't. He said no because I don't know. You did something to piss him off. I think he sent like a picture of like porn or something.
Oh yeah,
that
he
made him
doesn't like
angry.
it when I send like Rule 34 porn of like video games that he likes. I don't know why. He just gets really mad. So I think it's funny, and I keep doing it.
So he sent that.
I'm a good friend.
But he told us that he didn't want to do it. So I said understandable, but I spelled it wrong. So I unsent it. And then I sent understandable spelled correctly. After he sent the porn, then he got all pissed off because he thought I also sent the porn and was trying to gaslight me into saying that I did.
Yeah, so just to like kind of re-corroborate this, because I was kind of confused even when it was happening, because it doesn't make sense. What?
You got a booger right here.
Oh, God. Where is that good?
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, at least you got a booger catcher.
Yeah, I got that stash. Anyway, so yeah, I sent the porn picture because I just wanted to fuck with Will, and he got all mad. And then Corgan said, understandable, spelled it wrong, unsent it, so it just says, Corgan unsent a message. Excuse me. And Will sees that and thinks that Corgan sent the porn picture that I sent, even though the porn picture was still there and it said I sent it.
Also, Will was drunk, so this is why we're not like very pissed off at him. he was not in a right state of mind. So yeah, so he sent that, and then he was gaslighting me into saying that I did, and then he sent a thumbs up or something, and then unsent it because I don't know, and then
he accidentally hit an emoji, and then it sent, and so he got mad that he accidentally hit the button and unsent it. So then we were like, "Oh, you just sent us porn."
Yeah, we started gaslighting him into thinking that he did that, and then he started getting pissed off at us. And then eventually, it came down to it where I had to end the conversation. So I looked up a picture on Google, and I just looked up Snapchat video notification, and I took it and I just edited it to put his mom's name, and I sent it to him, and I said, "Tell your mom to stop sending me nudes." And then he got pissed off and left the group.
He didn't like that. He just left our group chat.
If we bring, we know how to push his buttons, how to end a conversation with him. We knew that was gonna happen.
So yeah, Will's not here, and I think maybe it might be kind of fair to say it's our fault.
But at the same time, it's your fault. I didn't do anything.
Well, I didn't know. Hold on, you played into it though. This isn't my fault entirely.
It was your fault in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I started it, but it was Will's fault for existing, actually. So really, all of this is on him.
Oh yeah, it really.
So he should apologize to us.
Really comes down to his ancestors.
Yeah.
It really comes down to the birth of humanity. That's kind of what did it.
Yeah. Do you think maybe that's why Will is just he's so different? Because
he's awoken. He's awake.
Yeah, he's a direct ancestor from Adam and Eve. He's wiser than us. He's got a more pure bloodline.
That's why he has a perfect and symmetrical face.
Yeah, he's a beautiful man.
He is. I'd kiss him.
Mm-hmm. I tried to kiss him sometimes. He doesn't like that.
No, he
gets
doesn't.
real mad and he hurts me.
I told him I'd be his first man kiss, but he didn't want to do that.
Yeah, he doesn't love us the way we love him.
He's just shy.
Yeah, we know he wants it.
Yeah.
Oh man, if anybody listened to this, we would get canceled.
We
just admitted to molestation, I think.
No, I offered to offering. I admitted to offering. You said that you were gonna take it from him.
I didn't say that. That's not exactly what I said.
You said you're gonna take that kid from.
No, I mean it might be what I think sometimes, but I don't do it. It's okay to think about something as long as you don't do it. You know what the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah, dude, I've been brushing the fuck out of my teeth recently because I usually just I just brush my teeth in the morning, and I feel like a lot of people do that. But I've been needing to go to the doctor for my wisdom tooth removed, so I've been just brushing the fuck out of my teeth. I've been flossing every morning and every night, and I'm brushing every morning and night.
You gotta make up for 10 years of toothbrushing.
I do, and it my mouth hurts so fucking bad because it just makes my gums all swollen.
Shit.
My mouth's not used to it, and you can see my fake tooth.
Oh yeah, you got a fake tooth.
Right there.
Man, it looks stupid.
Yeah, it does. It's my bad tooth.
I mean, let's be real though. Dental hygiene, not necessary.
Nah.
Who needs teeth?
Yeah, dentures exist. Well, yeah, we can just do that. And you just take them out.
Pudding. Pudding's the shit, and you don't need teeth for that.
Pudding.
I think that's all you need in life.
Tapioca.
Pudding and Kroger brand Dr. Pepper.
You know what freaks me the fuck out? Old people.
Dude, how are they still moving?
I don't know. It's I just don't even like looking at them sometimes. It's just scary. But not your grandparents old, really, really old people. Talking about old people, the Queen of England died today. So
I was just about to say.
Hallelujah.
Speaking of good news, the
Queen
of England is dead.
Anyway, back to the topic. Yeah, really, really old people, late 80s, early 90s, and so on.
Yeah.
It's just so weird to look at them. They're just doing these weird things, and you're like, what What reason do you have?
Well, it's a good thing we'll never get old.
Yeah.
We'll live forever.
Yeah, I'm killing myself before I get to that age. I'm going with my dignity, homie.
Yeah, we're gonna throw ourselves off of large buildings and explode with eagles. We've been through this.
Eagles and horses and javelins.
Yeah, and armor.
And cement.
There will be a camera crew, hopefully.
Yeah.
We need to go out with some views, get some clout.
Yeah. We'll make amends with Will and have him record it.
I don't like the way old people are always chewing on themselves.
Ugh. Yeah. So I have a story about that.
Oh, no.
So when I was younger, I lived in this town, and there's this gas station, and there was there's always a group of old people that were sitting out there, and everybody called them the Liars Club because all they would do is they would just sit there and lie to each other about stuff. Like you'd walk past them and you hear them yeah, I caught a fish about this big, and they have their hands 8 feet apart.
Classic old man.
Yeah, about that big of a fish. They would just say stupid shit like that, and it was just going on like that. It was a competition of who could lie the best, I guess. So they would always be in there, and then they would be sitting outside sometimes, and when they sit outside and not talking, they'll be looking around, they'll be
they always chew on their mouths.
They're chewing on their lips and stuff, and they're doing the weird thing where they put their lower jaw up to their nose. I don't even know how they can do it because they don't got teeth. It's fucking freaky. And then
there's a whole 3 inches of mouth that isn't there anymore.
And then that gas station closed, and then they disappeared, and then it reopened, and then they fucking just reemerged.
They are part of the gas station.
Basically, I think they're employees.
They pay them just to sit out there and scare customers away.
Possibly.
That reminds me of an old man story I have. This happened a week ago. There's this old guy that I work with over at the Kroger, and he's a pretty nice guy, but you can tell he's one of those guys that has ADHD, but he had it before they diagnosed kids with it.
Yeah.
So he just kind of grew up with crackhead energy, and you try to talk to him, and he'll be trying to have a conversation with you, but every time you try to talk, he'll say something to me. Hey, you know what I think about that? He'll yell hey and then interrupt you, and that's just what he does. And he's very cliche old man in the way of I sweep the floors at night, and I've got the dust mop, and I'm walking past him, and he just steps it on the mop to prevent me from moving, just so he can hold me captive and talk to me, because no one likes to talk to him. And he's like, hey, you know what you should do? You should trade in that mop for one that goes backwards. And
what?
I know, this is what old people do. They just say shit that doesn't make sense.
They got to hook you in to talk to him.
Yeah, I guess, because he just must not have anybody to talk to, so he's just oh, I'm going to make up some random nonsense to scream at this person. I don't even know. I can't even begin to decide what that means. I need to trade in for a mop that goes backwards.
That reminds me. I used to work at Kroger too, and there was this old dude named Greg, and he was the best guy ever. I
remember Greg.
He kind of looked like Bernie Sanders, but he was really, really fucking weird. And he would tell us that most of my stories I have is from my friend that worked there as well, because I would just avoid him, but she couldn't, because he would just be talking to her. So she told me she was in the break room one time, and he walked up to her, and he's like, yeah, this music's real good right here, but back in Tennessee, we used to have songs, Gutting Possums. That's my favorite song. I don't even...
Gutting Possums.
Don't even know where to start with that. He's just an odd man. And he would just say oddball stuff right there, and then the conversation would be over, and he would walk away. he just would walk up, put his 2 cents in, and then just he's gone.
It's kind of and I feel a lot of old people just do that.
It's an old people thing,
I used to, my great grandpa, he was in World War II, and he would tell me the same fucking story every time I saw him.
I think that's what grandpas just do, though.
I know, and it wasn't even because he was 90 something when he died. And he got kind of senile towards the end there, but even when I was little and he was completely sound of mind, he'd tell me the story every single time I saw him. He had a speech impediment too. He'd be like, "Well, I was in service. I was over there in Germany. I was over in the town, and ain't nobody supposed to leave the town. And this woman was walking out of town, and I didn't speak German too good. I said, 'Where you going?' And she slapped me on the face, and I laughed at her. And she just kept on walking.
Oh, man. My grandpa the other day was talking about, I don't know how it got about it, but we were talking about him being in Germany. And I think I asked him, like, did you rent any French harlots while you were there? He's like,
In Germany?
not the French one. Sorry, did you rent it when he was in Germany? Yeah. I'm like, did you rent any harlots there? He's like, yeah, I got them in Germany, but we never had enough money to get them when we were in France. I'm like,
Those French harlots are more expensive, I guess.
apparently. And like, I don't know. And my grandma was like sitting there just staring at him. Like, the fuck did you just say?
Were they married already?
No. He was like
okay.
18.
Well, that's not as bad.
Yeah. My grandpa has a thing like that he says all the time. And it was whenever he would drive you because he was your bus driver.
Mm-hmm.
And it was every time they would pass the cemetery, they go, people are just dying to get in there.
Every
And he
fucking
still
time.
says it. He still says it to me. And he's like, "That's your favorite joke." I'm like, "It's not my favorite joke. It's not my friend's favorite joke. Like nobody likes it." And here you go.
Someone's favorite
Here you
joke.
go. All right.
He
And he
cracks
just walk
himself
away.
up.
Yeah. That's all that matters, I guess.
It's you know,
If he
I
thinks
think
it's
that's
funny.
part of being a grandpa is you gotta entertain yourself because there's nothing left to entertain you because you can only laugh at like racist shit because
Nah.
you're old.
No, my grandpa's not that racist.
No, I'm just saying
He's a
when
good
you're
man.
old, you only like racist shit. Like in general, just old people. Not talking about your grandpa. There's exceptions to the rules. I'm just saying you have to entertain yourself because people get offended by what entertains you.
What about that posse of like old gay grandpas that are like that? I bet they would get funny about racist shit.
What are you even talking about?
You ever seen that? Those like 3 old guys or 4 old guys, and they're like are very very gay, and like people just record them, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gay," and like that's basically like their whole thing.
What are you, I've never even.
Yes, you have. I've showed you videos of them,
Okay,
and don't lie to me.
I believe you. My grandpa called me Jeremy.
Yeah, and he wanted to know if you wanted him to make a sandwich while he was on the roof.
Yeah, so I don't know if I've told that story either.
No.
One day I was in middle school, I think, and he had just gotten he lived down the street from me, and I was going to the library, but I was walking past his house, and he had just gotten his roof replaced with like a slick metal roof, like it's metal, and I'm walking past, and he is standing on it. He's on like this, it's like, you know, a triangular roof, and he's standing on it, and he's at like the top of the roof, and there's a ladder like 10 feet down that he somehow like shambled up, and I'm looking at the ladder, and like 5 of the rungs are like broken off, and he's replaced them with like particle board with duct tape.
Oh, he's an engineer, man.
I'm like, first of all, like, just get a new ladder. You can't save this one. Also, you're like 89, and you're on a fucking roof right now. So I'm like, Papa, what are you doing? He's like, fixing the roof. And I'm like, it's new. What are you fixing? You just got it. And he's like, fixing the roof. And I'm like, you need to get off the roof, man. You're going to fall and die. And he's like, hey, Jeremy, you want a sandwich? I'm like, well, first of all, my name's Justin. Thank you. And no, I would not like a sandwich because I doubt you have a sandwich on the roof.
I don't want your roof sandwich.
And he just like, he wouldn't even, I just left, honestly. I mean, I love my grandpa, but I wasn't going to get him off the roof. He wasn't listening to me.
I feel like
He
it's
stayed on the roof.
I feel like it's just an old person thing because whenever my grandpa retired, in the 5 years of him not working, he would just get up on the roof and try to fix shit all the time. And like, I think there's a fascination with old people on the roofs, and they just want to get up there. It's kind of like children and electrical sockets, I guess.
It must be like part of nature when you're like super old.
You just want to
And-
get higher.
Yeah, your brain is like,
I want to get close to heaven.
yeah, you're naturally trying to float up there.
Just fucking let me get towards the light already. God damn it.
I work with a guy who died.
Is he alive?
Yeah, he came back.
Oh. How was it?
I don't know. So he was telling me about it, and he said that he was babysitting his granddaughter, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, he got this like, real sharp pain in his side, and then like real fast, it got to the point where he thought he was gonna like collapse. So he fucking calls his wife, and he's like, "You need to get home. I'm dying." And then he just leaves. He leaves his granddaughter and drives himself to the hospital. Well, turns out his fucking appendix exploded. It wasn't even like he had appendicitis. Like, it fully all of a sudden just exploded.
Yeah.
So he was like dying from septic shock, and he gets there, and he said like they had to go do emergency surgery like right away. He said the last thing he remembered was somebody saying like stay with me, and then he went out, and then next he saw was just a bright light. He said he saw the light, like the cliche light, and he said he started walking towards it, and it looked like one of those like hypnotic pinwheels, and he was walking towards it, and then he said he felt a hand on his shoulder, and someone whispered in his ear, "It's not your time," and then pulled him back.
You want to know why that happens?
Hold on. I know why it happens, but I'm telling a story. He said he heard someone say, "It's not your time," and then pull him back. And then he woke up on the hospital bed with them, like, trying to bring him back to life. And I was just sitting there listening to this story, and I was like, I don't know, if you're walking towards the light, and something from the darkness reaches and pulls you back, I don't think that's God.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff happens because when you die, when your brain starts to, like, die, it releases a drug called DMT into there, which causes auditory and like visual hallucinations and stuff. So that's why a lot of people see that stuff, because I guess it's I don't know if it's like a mental thing of like you think you're gonna die, so your brain connects dying with going to heaven and stuff like that. But that's why that happens. And I think it's weird. It's just weird how brain does that. Like what purpose is that for?
Yeah, I mean, jokes aside, too, I had this conversation with him. It was interesting. He's really religious. I'm not. But I don't, like, if anyone is religious, I'm not going to, like, disrespect that. If you find comfort and solace in that, that's fine. It's just not something I believe in. I don't know, he said that he wasn't religious before that, and then, like, now he's all for the Jesus.
Yeah, I had an experience like that where
You died?
I thought I did. I was very, very high, and I had a panic attack, and
gas station weed.
Yeah, and I thought it probably was from a gas station. I don't know. It was it was my friend, and I legit thought I died, and like I thought like everything was over, and then I like fell asleep, and I woke back up, and I'm like, damn. That fucking sucked. And I went on with my day. I didn't become religious. I was kind of scared because I was thinking of it. I'm like, should I have chose religion? And then
I'm dead.
Yeah, and then I came back and I'm like, well, I'm all right. Well, I guess still gonna be rolling with what I got.
Man, I want to talk about the first time I tried weed.
Okay.
It wasn't fun. I had a bad time.
You tried the pot.
I tried the devil's lettuce, except this lettuce was in a little purple gummy.
You partaked in the Mary Jane.
Yeah. So I got that Delta 8 stuff. We live in bumblefuck nowhere, so it's not legal to have weed here. But Delta 8, that strain is
legal.
It's not legal, but it's like a gray area.
Well, yeah. Well,
so technically, like, we're allowed to have it, but if I like fail a drug test, it just counts as me failing a drug test, right? Like, so I got that, and I'm reading the package when it shows up in the mail, and it says take half of one if you've never done weed before, and I was like, yeah, obviously. And I knew, like, I've read a bunch about weed, and I watch TV. I know how weed works, and my whole thing was like, I'm not gonna be one of those people that takes an edible for the first time and thinks, oh, it's not working 20 minutes later, and takes another one and ends up super high. That's not what I planned on doing. So I opened the package and I dumped some of them out on the table, and they're these like big cubes, and to me they look like they have these perforations in them so you can split them apart. I thought they did that on purpose, like out of convenience for you, because there's like 4 of them. They all look exactly the same. I left the rest in the bag, so I rip one in half and eat it, and then it was like I waited like 3 hours and I hadn't felt any different at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the other half and take a whole one and see if that happens. So I take another one. I waited like another 2 hours after that. Nothing. So I'm like, fuck, I'm just going to take another whole one. So I pop a whole one in my mouth. I'm on the phone with my friend Jacoda while this is going on. And
shout out to Jacoda. We want to fuck you.
Shout out. And then I look in the bag not long after taking the second one and realize that those whole ones I took were actually like 2 stuck together.
Yeah.
So when I thought I was splitting one in half, I was actually splitting one and taking a whole one. I had taken 4 of these gummies now.
You should have been fucking dead. No.
I thought I was. So then, not long after I realized that, I start feeling it, and I was fine at first. It was fun. I was on the phone. I was playing video games with my friend, and I was laughing. And then he like had to leave, and then I'm just sitting there playing video games by myself, and things started to go awry.
Yeah.
Like I don't like being really high. It is not fun, cause like even when I just got to the point where I was like just like pretty high, I was like my thoughts were like echoing in my head. I don't even know how to describe it. Do you know what that?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like I'm thinking something, but then I also think it quieter, like 10 times.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's because like I feel like it's like when I do it, it's like I think something and I'm like, did I really just think that? And I just keep on thinking it and thinking it and thinking it.
Yeah, and then like I started having like I don't know. Can weed even give you visual hallucinations? Because
Whenever I thought I died, I did have that. I did like hallucinate a little bit, which like is not a normal thing for that to happen. And I don't even know if it is something that can happen. I think there might have just been something going on with me.
Well, then that thing must have been going on with me because it wasn't like anything crazy. I wasn't seeing like monsters, but like light was pulsing, and it was. When I moved my hand, it looked like there was like frame rate dropping. Like I could see.
Oh
like,
yeah, I know what
blur.
you mean. Yeah, that's happened to me too.
Yeah.
It's just like I think it's your eyes not being able to catch up with your what's like
Yeah.
what's actually happening.
And then this was like 10 minutes after I started initially feeling it, right? So it's already bad. And then I start twitching.
Ugh.
Like I'm getting like I was sitting like this, right? And my whole arm.
Oh, that's normal.
Yeah, but it was like because I've done weed quite a bit since then, and sometimes I'll get like my hand will do that.
Mm-hmm.
My whole arm was doing that, and my head was like I couldn't sit still. So I'm like, okay, I just need to go to sleep, right? I drink like a fuck ton of water, and then I go and lay in my bed in the fucking fetal position,
Yeah.
and I put the blanket over me, and I'm just shivering and
I know
freaking out.
You're drinking water. It's not like alcohol, homie. Water or caffeine will not save you.
That's
you
not.
just have to wait for it to fucking stop.
That's not what I was doing. I was just thirsty.
Oh.
My mouth was dry. But yeah, I laid in bed for like 3 hours just shaking and like I think I cried a little. I don't remember.
Dude, I had an experience like that too. So one day I came home from work and I also had those gummies and they were 50 milligrams and I'm like,
mine were 25 by the way.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna take 2 of these because I take one of them, they get me pretty fucked up. What will happen if I take 2 of them? So I took them and I ate 2. And I'm like, I'm sitting there and everything. I wait my hour and then it starts to hit me and everything's fine. I'm like, oh yeah, it's cool. And then I like kind of like meld into my chair and I'm like sitting there.
You become the furniture.
I was the furniture and like I was like, man, dude, I want a chicken sandwich. And then so I'm like thinking in my brain and I'm like, so what was happening in my head was I went to the kitchen and I got my chicken sandwich. I started cooking it and like I was sitting there waiting and then I opened my eyes and I'm just still sitting in my chair.
I've had something similar happen to me.
And like, so I was like, damn. So I get up. Sorry. Actually, why don't you just say what you're doing real quick?
This happened like a week ago. I was sitting at my desk. I was high.
Can I finish my story
Yeah,
first?
yeah.
So I got up and I went and made my chicken sandwich, like for real this time. And I'm like, all right, fucking awesome chicken sandwich. And I start eating it. I get about halfway done with it. And I'm like, oh man, I feel like shit. And I'm like, okay, just gotta choke through it. And I just keep on eating the sandwich. And then I stand up and I'm like, fuck. I ran to the bathroom. I just threw up like a fuck ton. And like I went to bed. And like I don't know if I did anything else because I don't really, that's like the basis of what I remember. Because I'm pretty sure I just went straight to bed and just fell asleep and woke up and went to work the next day.
It's probably good you threw up because if you hadn't completely digested the gummies yet, you probably would have gotten even more high.
Yeah. All right, what were you saying?
So yeah, this happened like 2 weeks ago. I had just taken like a gummy and a half, I think. So I was like,
how did we go from old people like being fucking scary to like getting high?
I don't know. It started with a lot of talk about taints, so I'm kind of glad we ended up here.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sitting there. I had taken a gummy and a half, so I'm like already like higher than I want to be. But I was like fine. and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking hungry. So I go and I make some chicken nuggets that I had in the freezer, and then I sit them down at my desk, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm staring at them, and I'm like drooling, and then I like sit back up and I eat the chicken nuggets, and then I'm like, man, those chicken nuggets were fucking awesome. And then I start playing Fortnite. And I'm like halfway through a game, and I look down, and I hadn't touched the chicken nuggets at all. They were still sitting there like entirety, and I was just like, I'm playing, and I look.
Dude, I would have been like, oh fuck yeah, dude, replenished.
Dude, I literally did this. I looked down. I'm like, like I was so excited. Because I realized, like, I still have all of these chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
And I fucking wolfed those things down. I picked up the plate and, like, dumped them in my mouth. I was too far gone.
Dude, so this one time, I was at my friend's house, and it was me and 3 other guys, and we just, like, it was the first time I hit a bong, and I hit that thing, like, 2 or 3 times, and I was fucking far gone. And they were like just as high as I was, and I'm like, man, I'm fucking hungry. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I'll order us a pizza. And they're like, all right. So I go onto DoorDash and I'm ordering a pizza, and I'm like, what do you guys want on it? And they're like, can we just get like pepperonis and peppers? I'm like, all right, yeah, that's all right. So I sit there and I order it, and it ended up being $60 worth of pizza, and it got delivered to us, and we went and got it, and we put it in there, and we opened the pizza and look at it, and what I ordered was extra cheese and onions.
That's it. That's fucking gnarly.
Yeah, and they're like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, this is the pizza. And they're like, we said pepperoni and peppers. I'm like, oh, we got extra cheese and onion. And like 4 things of breadsticks.
Well,
and I was
at least
like,
you had
yeah,
bread.
and I'm like, I just spent $60 on this shit, and they're like, yeah, you did, and we're like, whatever. So we ate it anyway. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, you're high. You're not gonna not eat it.
But we still fucking talk about it. Sometimes the fact that I ordered extra cheese and onion pizza, and that was it. It was not that good. It's not as good as you thought it would be.
Oh, okay. Stall first. Do something entertaining.
All right.
Do a dance.
I put my dick in a cup, and that was about it.
All right.
Are we gonna segue?
So it's been 42 minutes.
That's a while.
We're going hard. All right. So it's time to do a little thing I like to call Justin's bad news breakdown. Now, so
What happened this week?
Last week was kind of political, right? I want to get. It's still. Just inherently on what this topic is, it's going to be kind of political just because it's been politicized so much. There's been too much good news recently, I think. So I really need, Biden forgave student debt. The Queen of England died. A lot of great things have been happening in the world.
Is it going to be up Trisha Paytas having a baby? That's
bad news.
I know it's bad news. That's what we're talking about.
That's not what it is. No, I wanted to talk about how the world is going to explode.
Oh.
Like the sun is melting us.
Well, what about that? What would we talk about that cat that died? That funny one.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
That could be your bad news breakdown.
That's pretty bad news.
So yeah,
I don't even know what that cat's called. I'll look it up while you're doing this.
There wasn't even really any general thing. I kind of just wanted to bring this topic up of like, I think there's a lot of misunderstandings with like climate change, because what politicians and especially fossil fuel lobbyists have done is they push off climate change on the individuals. They say like, oh, you need to recycle, you need to drive an electric car, you need to drive less, you need to use less electricity. But really, even if everybody in the world just completely lived an entirely green life, it would have some effect, but it wouldn't change much anyway, because the fossil fuel industry and the agricultural industry are what is really destroying our planet. And I think a lot of people need to realize that there needs to be huge systematic changes to save our lives, because at this point, I don't really think there's much. I don't mean to be cynical, but I think our generation is going to be the last one unfortunately.
No, there's another there's Generation Alpha. That was the 10s.
Yeah, but I feel like
They're not gonna last long.
Well, no, but by the time they're our age, it's gonna be hard to breathe. Like our atmosphere will be so thin, it's hard to even live on the planet. And that I don't really know if there's any coming back at this point, because anytime there's any laws passed that are trying to change the way we affect the environment, they're always like, 50 years from now we hope to be here. 30 years from now we want this much solar power in our country, and it's not going to happen. We need to change now. And everybody in the government just sits on their asses because Republicans and Democrats, all of them, they're all funded by three things.
Well, if you think about it, every time we do fix something, or like we are trying to improve something, another thing comes up. We stop using so much coal, but then we got a lot more cars putting out carbon and shit like that, and then we're gonna do something else, and something else is gonna happen that's gonna break the environment.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm getting at here, is the reason we still are burning fossil fuels, even though there are so many other cleaner forms of energy that wouldn't hurt the environment. Is no, it's not expensive.
Well,
if we had started like even 10 years ago implementing solar and wind power, or even nuclear power, which is way safer than people think.
I was talking about electric cars. I thought that's what you were talking about.
No. I'm talking about forms of energy that we can use.
Mm-hmm.
We still burn coal because the fossil fuel industry has our government by the balls, and they put regulation on solar and wind power to make it hard to implement, while deregulating themselves, because they fund campaigns for politicians they know are going to serve them and prevent other people from getting in office who they know will harm their business.
Well, that is a very political thing, because it's basically, I don't know how to explain it without being stupid.
Be stupid, that's fine.
It's just, Republicans don't want to fix that, and then Democrats do want to fix that, but don't. So
that's what I'm getting at is, I would say Republicans are wolves in wolves' clothing, and Democrats are wolves in sheep's clothing, where, and this isn't all Democrats. I like some of them, but the majority of them, they're still funded by the same people. And what I was going to say earlier is the entirety of our Congress is funded by three things. That would be firearms sales,
gas,
fossil fuels, and I forget the third one. Porn, no. I had a thought it was going somewhere, but there's a third major thing that lobbyists are paid by. I'll probably think of it later. I'm stupid, by the way.
What is it? You say firearms, gas, and Twinkies. 3 American things.
Twinkies. Oh, agriculture. Duh.
You're welcome.
That's the agriculture industry. All of those three industries funnel money into politicians who they know are going to serve them, like I said earlier. And that's why, all of our government is, I don't want to be like that, MAGA, everyone's corrupt, but they are, just not in the way a lot of people say they are. Mm-hmm. And that goes not only for the fossil fuel industry, but firearm sales as well. America, we are completely fueled by war. We go into third world countries and we instigate conflict so we can sell them firearms. We've done it time and time again. The CIA is that is what funds them. They love starting war, and that's why communists are so evil. Is because it's such an easy boy who cried wolf thing. Where it's they're communists. You need to kill them. Here's guns.
Anything that is not Republican and Democrat is evil.
Well, and that's not even necessarily what I'm getting at. It's
communists, socialists. They're also evil.
Yeah, because socialists and communists are the same thing. Totally. Yeah, famously, the CIA, they for the most part created Al Qaeda. 9/11 happened because of us. That's my bad news breakdown. I don't have any way to fix it. So basically, just what I'm saying today is we're all gonna die, and you need to deal with it. Get over it. Don't have kids because they're gonna die.
For all the people that are gonna get mad, if anybody listens to this about us being political, We are neither Republican nor liberal. We are apolitical. We think both sides are fucking bullshit.
I'm not apolitical.
I am. I thought you would be. I thought you were too, just because of how you're talking.
Well, no, you don't need to be a Republican or a Democrat. That's not politics. That's parties.
I
wouldn't. I don't really like identity politics, but if I was going to label myself, I'd say I'm a socialist.
No, I don't like any politics. I think they're all stupid, and I don't like talking about them. They're important, but I'm stupid, and I don't like talking about them.
I like talking about them because I like being angry, and my blood pressure is really high. It gives me an outlet.
Fat person moment right there.
Yeah. Well, it got high because I'm fat, and it continues to get higher because I'm so angry about everything that happens all the time.
Yeah. All right. Here's Corgan's crappy congregation.
New segment just dropped. The
Yeah.
crappy congregation.
So the famous TikTok cat Pot Roast died today.
His name's Pot Roast?
Yes, Pot Roast was a toothless black and white cat that was loved by TikTok for him wearing hats and his messy eating.
Show that picture to the camera there.
You just put a picture.
Okay, yeah,
here.
I'll do that.
Right there.
There he is, Pot Roast.
Pot Roast.
So beautiful.
Pot Roast had hold on. Pot Roast had feline immunodeficiency virus.
No.
Which I don't know what that is, but what it sounds like is he did not have a very good immune system.
That's terrible.
Pot Roast was 6 years old. He was adopted in 2016, and he died today.
We need to find a cure.
Oh, it's too late. He's already dead.
I know. We need to make sure this never happens to another Pot Roast.
But it's sad. I'm pretty sure that's the same cat that if you've seen that video of a girl giving the cat ice cream and it freaks the fuck out. I'm pretty sure that's the same cat.
It's the funny TikTok cat.
But it's sad because I like that cat.
I don't even like cats, and I love Pot Roast. And I didn't even know Pot Roast existed until like 5 minutes before this podcast.
But I did. I didn't know his name, but I knew who he was.
It's a fitting name. He looks like a Pot Roast.
Anyway, well, where do we pick? Should we leave it here? I mean, it's probably been over an hour. Do you want to pick up from where we left off?
Let me take a look. If it's not been an hour, we can chit chat a little bit more.
Well,
It's been about 52 minutes.
I gotta hit the can, so I think that we should wrap it up, homie.
This guy's gotta take a dump. How bad do you have to take a dump?
I don't gotta take a dump. I gotta take a number one.
You gotta do a pizzle?
Oh yeah, I gotta pizzle for shizzle, you know.
That dick pee?
That dick squirt.
All right, fine. Right. If your little ding dong can't hold it any longer, we can go ahead and end this podcast here.
Yeah, I'll go in there and I'll sit down and pee.
You gotta sit down?
No.
I sit down sometimes.
Well, sometimes you just gotta, dude.
Well, I don't get why let's just we'll wrap it up, I promise. You just hold a little bit. I just gotta talk about this, okay? I don't get why there's like a stigma. Why do you guys have to stand? All right, it's comfortable. I sit on the toilet. I let my little ding dong hang over the water.
It's because we were blessed with the ability to aim.
But I don't want to have to. I just want to be comfortable and take a piss and watch some TikToks.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how it got to be. You got to pretend like you're shitting.
Take that, feminists. We sit to pee. Checkmate.
Mate.
Are we echoing?
Yes.
Mate.
All right. We were the Fat Elvis Podcast. Thank you for watching, or what the fuck ever. Go fuck yourself.
He's going to pee. And I'm just going to sit here and look at you for a while.
See you later. See you later, piss boy.
I love you.